One of the things that I really believe is that when you pay workers well, when ordinary people are getting a decent wage and decent benefits and decent protections, then they have more money in their pockets. And then they go out and they spend that money, which is good for business, and everybody is better off. So that's the kind of attitude that we want to try to promote in the years going forward. And my hope is that policy will continue. So my message to you, though, and the message I delivered in Europe is: don't just assume the worst. Wait until the administration is in place, it's actually putting its policies together. And then you can make your judgments as to whether or not it's consistent. With the international community's interest in living in peace and prosperity together. Okay. Good. Question, thank you very much. First of all, I just want to say thank you for being such a great world leader over your tenure. I truly think that you've done your best in making the world a better place. President Obama, I appreciate that. Question, my name is Libby Jorges PH. President Obama, where you are from, Libby. Question, I'm from the Bahamas. President Obama, hey. Question, I'm the son of 2 Haitian immigrants living in the Bahamas. And I'm a human rights activist and also a radio talk show host. I filter my advocacy work through radio. Because it's a great form of communication in getting everybody involved. Nonetheless, you spoke about youth and us shaping the future and the direction of the world. And what it's going to be in the very near future. But I'll give you a quick example of what I experienced and then a question that can apply to all of us here as young people. As a person being born to Haitian parents, immigrants, in the Bahamas, there is a certain perception on you not being a native. And governments have fed on that over time. And so the average individual that you would come into contact with, they would see you in a certain light. And so the opportunities to assist then, to help your country, then are diminished. For example, I'm trying to bridge the gap between Haitians and Bahamians in the Bahamas. But government officials and other individuals, they would have said, well, you're fighting for Haitians to take over the Bahamas when it's not that. I just want Bahamians and Haitians to live in peace in the Bahamas. And so if you had the opportunity to have all of our prime ministers and presidents in one room, and you had one word of advice that you could have given those leaders in regards to young people, and especially millennials, what would you say to those leaders? President Obama, well, you know, I've had that opportunity a number of times. They don't always follow my advice. But to your broader point, look, we live in a world that is smaller than ever before. Because of the internet, because of modern travel. Your generation gets ideas and culture and your politics from everywhere, right? You are listening to everything from Rolling Stones, to Kendrick Lamar, to salsa, to reggaeton to right. So what is true in music, what's true in food is also true in terms of politics and ideas. And the great thing about young people is that that's made your identities both national but also international. So people here are Peruvian. But you're also people who care about what happens around this continent and around the world. It means that you can be both proud of your Haitian heritage and live in the Bahamas. And also be concerned about what happens in Africa, or what is happening in Myanmar. That's a good thing. Now, I'll be honest with you, older people sometimes are more threatened than younger people. By this convergence because you know, now that I've got gray hair. I see what happens as you get older, you get set in your ways and you are afraid of things that are new. And oftentimes, politicians can feed into that sense that everything is changing so fast. Let's go back to our old identities of race or tribe or nationality. And my main advice, not just to world leaders, but more importantly to citizens around the world is: if you're defining yourself just by what you're not, if you're defining yourself just by the color of your skin or where you were born, then you are not fully appreciating what will give you a strong identity and meaning in your life, and what will lead to prosperity and security for everyone. And that is the values and ideals that we should all promote. That we respect everybody, regardless of what they look like. That we give everybody opportunity no matter where they were born. Whether they were born poor or they were born rich. That we have laws that everybody has to observe. Not just laws for one set of people and then a different set of laws for other people. Because the problem with that approach, a very narrow way of thinking about yourself. Is that means almost inevitably you have to be in conflict with somebody else. If the most important thing about you is that you are an American, if that's the one thing that defines you, then you may end up being threatened by people from other places. When in fact you may have a lot in common and you may miss opportunities. Now, I'm a very proud American. And my job as President of the United States is to look out for American interests. But my argument to the American people has always been, the best way for us to look out for American interests is to also care about what's happening in our neighborhood. Because if their house is burning down, eventually my house will burn down. The best way for my daughters to be secure as Americans is to make sure that people in El Salvador or Guatemala are also feeling some security. Because if they're not, then eventually that may spill over the borders to us. And some of the challenges that we face today are ones that no single group can solve. If you look at something like climate change that knows no borders. If there is pollution in China, it affects you here in Peru. If we are going to make sure that the oceans don't rise so that suddenly all of the streets around Lima are 2 feet underwater, then it's going to require everybody. Taking the kind of collective action that we talked about in the Paris Agreement. So I think that we should all have the capacity, and governments should reflect this capacity. To be proud of our particular circumstance, be proud that you're Haitian. Be proud that you're in the Bahamas, be proud that you're a young, black man. Be proud of your particular identity, but also see what you have in common. With people who don't look like you or don't come from the same place as you do. Because if we see what we have in common, then we're going to be able to work together, and that's going to be good for all of us. If all we see is differences, then we're automatically going to be in competition, and in order for me to do well, that means I have to put you down, which then makes you want to put me down. And everybody stays down here instead of everybody lifting each other up. It's the most important thing we can do. All right, so it's a woman's turn. Okay, everybody is pointing at this young lady. All her friends were pointing at her, so she has something very important to say. Question, welcome to Peru, Mr. President. President Obama, thank you. Question, my name is Sophia, and my friends and I are students at Laboratoria. President Obama, I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry. Question, do remember about laboratoria? President Obama, yes. Question, with Mariana Costa? President Obama, yes, yes. Question, okay, I'm a student over there, me and my friends. We are so lucky to be studying over there to get a job in tech. But there are so many young people still without these type of opportunities. So what do you recommend to open more quality education or job opportunities for young people in Latin America? President Obama, well, the program you described is doing great work. And there's a lot of good work all across Latin America. One of the goals is to make sure that not only are we providing a great education for people at the youngest ages, basic reading, arithmetic, all those things, but today you also need to have some knowledge of technology. And what we're trying to do is to work with governments and NGOs to expand access to the internet. To digital platforms. And what we also want to do then is to help design curriculum and programs through the internet, so that online learning is accessible in places where previously there might not be opportunities. And we're seeing some of those investments here in Peru. That's part of the broader educational program that we have throughout Latin America. But we can still do more. And it's not just us, it's a public-private partnership also. So having Facebook participate. And Microsoft and Google and other big companies who have an interest in an educated population.